This is a deeply impactful film, and I thought it was brilliant turning a statistic into a fully realized possibility, going through the steps of what a future might look like in scarcity of resources and inflation beyond belief. A $300 cupcake, the luxuries uh, are beyond anyone's means. It was a believable scenario and really authentically portrayed by the lead. I felt it was super grounded throughout.
Really cool opening shot. I love the concept of water being a form of currency. I mean, this was environmental, but this was also a really great drama short as well. I mean, it is a life source. We often look and take for granted water because it's so readily available. So, painting the picture of a world with scarce water looked like, I thought this was a very interesting take on that. A lot of subtle touches over. This is clearly in a pandemic world, but take it to the extreme. The price of overpriced toilet paper, the heightened cost of food, which is all driving him in desperation to steal the cupcake for this birthday. I love that we framed it around this birthday. Really great shot when the cop knocks right after the happy birthday song. Really dynamic close up interrupting the happy birthday song. Love the red and blue lights peeking through the door. Love the ending on the candle blowout. Really great. Like it was a really great way to tell a story visually.
The idea is fantastic. It's topical. They really pull off that postmodern world well. Great world building. It's all just really believable for the most part, which also makes it kind of terrifying. It could be very deadly accurate. So you definitely, like, right off the jump, you buy into it. Nothing seems too over the top or too wild to believe. Some good performances and great direction as well, and overall, just really a thoroughly enjoyable film.
Issue on like sustainability, like about how we use like too much plastic in our daily lives. We still like don't understand like why we use like so many materials like to like give us like convenience, but we just disregard like the good life without that. So I feel like it's kind of like the main idea that is pretty important, and it's good for us like to think a little bit more about it. And I mean, it's done like in a fictional style, so it's not meant to teach us or like preach us on those topics, but just let us to understand by ourselves after seeing the story. So I feel like it's not like try to force us to do that, but just let us like have some space to make our own decision and think about it a little more.
So, this is a fictionalized story that sort of represents this notion that in about 25 years or so, we are going to not have uh, uh, as much of a easier access to the way that we have water even right now. And that is a scary thought to have. So, here we have this almost limitless, what's that, in time, that in time almost sci-fi element aspect of you only get to have, instead of so much time in this aspect, it's so much water to have, and so you only get to have a limited amount. So how do you use your water on a daily basis, and what happens when you see other people in need for water? Do you share your water? Do you make fun of those people in those settings that are beneath you? How do you present yourself with those opportunities? Do you lend a hand, or do you crack a joke sort of vibe? And so that's exactly what we see come into play here, is this sense of greed and entitlement and scarcity, and what we need to take the steps in order to realize of how bad it can get. So let's acknowledge it now and take that notion to make sure that we don't have as worse of an issue in the future.
What an ingenious and clever way to make a very, very important point. But the whole film just immediately draws you in. I thought that the actors were great, and I really liked what they did with the story.